Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video!
Hey guys, welcome again to the channel, and this time we're on the event and with the last boss, and it's Oni, and it's one of the ridiculous hard bosses that you can't score so much higher than the other bosses that we did. And he's a little bit difficult because he has AoE, single target, and backline sniping, and it's kinda frustrating if you want to go straight up and face him without like defensive mechanisms, healings, some cheesing. And we got another cheese for this lineup. It used to work on Gen, it used to work on Akuma, but it didn't give us the highest survivability because none of these hits AoE. And this boss hits AoE, so this is the frustrating point. So if we go and check him and check his skills, so he goes quickly to the backline and hit the backline, and this we can evade this on one team, and I will show you how, and it's pretty fantastic, to be honest. Everything he does is soul damage, so one team, and you can negate his passive. So his passive is whenever you start with a super combo with your unit, it will gain a Satsui no Oni. So it's a buff that increases your target, your unit that uses this super combo, damage taken by 25. So increases damage dealt and taken by 25%. So you deal 25% more damage and take 25% less damage. So you can use this as an advantage, and it can be a disability for you, so you can take more damage from Oni and wipe immediately. But we're gonna play around this, and you're gonna see how much it will help playing around this. Plus you can disable this by disable his passive, because it's a passive with B Zangief C2, and this is what we're gonna do on another team, so we can keep them surviving more, so our carry will not die immediately. So the lineups that I'm using, as normal, I'm using the Dalsim with Fashion Blanca lineup with Bison and Summer Yang. Now, you can replace Summer Yang with anybody else that you want. You can put Athlete Chun-Li, you can put anybody that buffs your teams. Maybe Summer Elena could help here. But the thing is with this team that we're gonna cheese Oni with, and he will not be hitting any one of your units except Bison. So Bison has a big hitbox. His hitbox is between these two, so it takes 1 and 2 spots. So he will be the front line and he will be the back line at the same time. And we're gonna achieve this by letting our team go straight up back to our wall to the end of the map. So to the end of the map, everybody on our team will be back there. So it will be counted as one unit, as the front unit, because Bison has a big hitbox. He will be gonna be hit with the 7 attacks of the back line, which is the first attack that Oni does, and the front line attack, which Oni also does, and he will be tanking the auto attack from Oni. Now for the AoE that Oni does, there's only 2 ways to counter it so far, or 3 ways. If you have the Satsui no Iki of the EX move of Evil Ryu, the one that gives you 100% damage resistance, you can use that. Whenever you see the animation and you want to drop the AoE attack, you can just hit it and just stand there, and you will immediately just keep surviving. You will not die. You can use heal EX moves afterwards, or you can use the C1 of Summer Yang afterwards, and you can survive. Now the other way is the Crazy Potato. Now the Crazy Potato works as Virgil in a small way. So you take the initial damage, but it blocks the aftermath damage. So the soul damage, you'll take it, and it depends of how much damage did you deal to the boss. If you dealt so much damage, it could wipe you. If you didn't, it will heal you and give you the shields. The shields will protect you from lethal death. And the third one is Virgil EX, of course, and I'm using Virgil EX right here for me. For you who don't have it, use the Crazy Potato. It will help you a lot. But if you don't have the Virgil EX, you will have worse runs than the people that have Virgil EX, because you need to retry again and again to not die on your main carry, which is Dalsim. Sometimes he never hits Dalsim. It happened to me like twice. He used his AoE, Dalsim never died, especially when he's standing on his leg. I don't know if it's a bug or something. Please, if it happens with anybody else, let me know. So, and this is how we go, and by the end you'll have like 2 or 3 combo meters as full. You can start your rotation with Dalsim, Fashion Blanca, Summer Yang, or Summer Yang, Fashion Blanca, then Dalsim. But what you need to do here to to not wipe at the first AoE damage that he hits you, you need to start with Fashion Blanca, use the C1 of Dalsim, C2 of Summer Yang, then C3 of Bison. That will push you a little bit to the back, because Bison, when he explodes and he does his C3, he goes, explodes there and go back to the end. So Oni will jump, walk immediately to the back, plus he's hitting his AoE, he'll push everybody to the back line. So you need to use Bison C3 twice. So we will gonna use the Dalsim C1 twice, and this will give Dalsim a major buff actually. You do it twice, and then everybody will be in the back line, and Oni will be hitting only Bison, so you have no problem with executing your combos. So we're gonna start with Dalsim, Fashion Blanca, then Summer Yang. I use the C1 of Fashion Blanca so much, it deals a lot of damage. It deals more damage than his C2. It deals more damage as for a single target more than his super. This is why his C1 it's so underrated. I don't know why people don't use it. I'm using it in PvP and PvE. It does even better job than using his super whenever it's a single target. So keep in mind, keep your this in your mind. And I'm using this EX. So I drop it whenever you're dealing flame damage. You will increase your flame damage by 12% on the spot for 6 seconds. So you can do it back to back. Now on this lineup, I'm using Zangief. As you see, Zangief is always used. He negates passives. Now we know it's an advantage to have the super done by Viper, and then she gains the buff. But as he do his AoE damage, he's gonna wipe Viper. So I don't care for the buffs that he gives me. You can use whoever, try using anybody else, but not many units survives. And you're gonna see that Zangief survived till the end because he has his passive, and his passive, as if we read here, reduces flame, thunder, and soul damage taken by 20%. It goes up to 25%. Increased damage reduction to 50% for him, but for the entire team by 25%. So 25% of the soul damage taken by Oni, the entire team will not take it, so it's reduced. This is more survivability, and 50% for him, and the 25%, so 75% damage reduction from soul damage on Zangief. This is why how OP he is in everywhere you take him. It's not just against soul, but flame and thunder. Plus he have a good survivability with his C2. You're gonna see me healing him with his C2. So we start with first rotation, we accumulate combo. I start with Eva Ryu, Street Poison, Zangief, then Viper, just to get the Satsui no Iki stacks. Then I start with Viper, Street Poison, Zangief, then Viper, and it will accumulate Satsui no Iki until he have 5. He will hit the Hadouken, which will reduce his C1, his passive, which will reduce the energy combo of Oni, that you can do more rotations. And by the end, the only man standing will be Zangief, because he literally almost takes no damage. In the end, he will be taking so much damage from the auto attack from Oni, because Oni becomes because we dealt so much damage to him, he will deal so much damage to us. And I'm using these EX moves. I'm using a Crazy Potato here since I have Virgil EX on the first team, so it will help me survive a little bit. For crit rates and damage, the drones, and I'm using the Breath of Rage, the Raging Eye, to hit more crits as I start my first combo. Now the last team, and this is this team, and I advise anybody that have Vega to play Vega instead of Witch Jury if you want, or instead of Chun-Li. If you have Akuma, Trendy Kami, if you build Sagat works here also. Anybody else that you build, you can use them in this lineup. The only core unit that you need on this lineup is Abel. Abel will give you shields that will negate and reduce instances of damage that he does. Not the soul damage, but he will reduce the damage taken by auto attacks and by his skills. So he's a major component here. If you have better units, like if I had Trendy Kami, I would play Trendy Kami and Blanca, normal Blanca for more shock. Or probably I'll play her with Chun-Li. Chun-Li will hit with the C2, and if she crits, she will give you combo meter by her passive. And I'll use Trendy Kami to finish off the boss with the C3 and the super. Having Gormagala Ken is not important. I'm using him only for one mechanic, not just for the buffing and the curse that he applies. It doesn't help me that much. It helped a little bit, but not that much. I'm using him because I put Kami on him, and every time I proc a C1 and a C2, she drops in, hit Oni. Oni gets the armor break, and who capitalizes on armor break? It's Chun-Li, and Chun-Li will hit with her C3 and deals damage. you'll see it's the worst team in my lineup. Right now, I'm ranking 5 on the lineups, on the teams. Not everybody did their tries, but I see a trend, which is nobody is hitting those high numbers that they've been hitting on the other bosses, like 2 billion and stuff like that. It's 1.7. This is how hard he is, and you need to be patient and pay attention and do some strategies here versus this boss. These are the scores that I've got. So on Dalsim team, this is the worst score possible to get on Dalsim. Again, this is the worst score possible to get on Dalsim team. This team can get you to 1 billion to 1.5 billion. This is the range that you want to hit with this lineup. What I did was experimenting. I'm doing all my runs. As you see, I was testing. I didn't do a lot of tests, but I will be doing more. I did only 4 battles. I can do more battles because I kept retrying the first team. I put them on the first lineup. But the point is, I will try to develop something else to get higher numbers on different lineups. This is the other solid lineup, which is the Viper. It gets you something between... Also, if you want the perfect run, if normally you're playing between 800 million and 1 billion here, and here 400 to 500 billion, and this last team, if you're using my same team, 150 to 200 million what you want, but if you have Trendy Cammy, definitely 400 million to 500 million. So Trendy Cammy, that's how good she is. Also Akuma, he's good here. If you have Oni-chan will help you here. He will hit a lot of crits and he will deal soul damage. Plus, he will be saved by Abel. So you have no problems, no worries here. Of course, Witch Jury now became meta because she survives, or you can slap her as an assist and she will heal anybody else with lifesteal. And these were the lineups. If you want, let's go and check the replays. I will show you all the replays as fast, but this replay we're gonna focus on because this is the cheese and how you're gonna cheese it. I wait for him to hit at the start, then I go with Fashion Blanca, then C1 of Dalsim, C2 of Summer Yang, then C3 of Bison. Look how I wait until Bison, so I can hit with Bison and go to the back line. Bison explodes, goes to the back line, everybody is pushed back, and we do it again. And as you see, it doesn't stack so frequent. So I started with Fashion Blanca. If you look at him, he has the buff from Oni, but it doesn't remain till the end of the battle, so you don't need to worry about it. It's only 10 seconds or 15 seconds, I guess, and it gets removed. But on Dalsim, it will stay forever because I'm gonna start and hit so hard. As you see, I healed here because I got a C3. The first time he hit with soul damage, we didn't take that much damage because we didn't deal so much damage to him. And now we're in the back line. As you see, only Bison will get hit. Nobody else is gonna be hit except Bison. So this is a big advantage to us. And I prepare myself, so he's gonna do his AoE. I put the Virgil EX and I'm alive on the lineup. So I continue and deal my damage. As you see, I healed with... and this is my mistake. I went super fast with Fashion Blanca and lost him. If I didn't, I could hit the 1 billion easily here. And this is what I'm telling you. This team is really good. It gives you a lot of damage and you can continue and do better than me. I'm not gonna try harder. I'm gonna just wait, like always, and try to hit the top 10 because this is my point. And here, let me fast forward this. I wait for 3 bars on this lineup, and I drop the drones as soon as possible. I want Viper with her auto attack to proc Yang on her, so Yang will drop in and give me more combo meter. And as soon as you see, I start with Eva Ryu, Sweet Poison, Zangief, then Viper, and I continue with Viper. And as I start with the combo with the rotations, I drop the Breath of Rage because it gives me more crits, and that's what I need. And here, he silenced his passive. As you see, we're dealing super with Viper. She's not getting the buff from Oni because we silenced him. So this is a big advantage also. And Viper is just insane here. With some runs, if you get so much crits, if you were lucky, you're gonna hit a lot of high numbers and get so much damage. But I wasn't that lucky. It wasn't critting that much. As you see, he dealt soul damage, killed everybody except Zangief. This is how Zangief is OP versus soul damage, and this is why all my lineup survived everything. And with auto attack, Zangief will die because the auto attack is not soul damage, it's normal damage. And the last lineup, This I will make it X4. It's not that important. As I said, it's not a team that you would like to run. If you want to run it, that's how I run it. I just start with Witch Jury, Abel. I start with Chun-Li first rotation, just to get the minus 10% damage resistance. And then I start with Witch Jury, Abel, Witch Jury, then Chun-Li. And I try to time it. Whenever he wanna attack, I hit the C1 of Abel, so it gives me the shields and negates some bit of damage. I whiffed so many attacks, so I start with Witch Jury, and by the time that I'm starting, he goes backline and hits somebody, so I whiff all my attacks on Witch Jury. So that was my mistake. If you're trying to replicate this, just try to focus and not hit with Witch Jury the air, or you're not gonna hit high numbers. Yeah, and that was the scores. Tell me your inputs about the teams that you're using. Maybe you're using something else. Somebody told me normal poison deals insane damage here, so I'm gonna try her and I'm gonna let you know. But so far this was the fight, and yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight.